the world's greatest travel system, a very well represented slogan used by the Canadian Pacific Railway. Ever since connecting Canada between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans in the year 1885, the CPR has lived up to that moniker with their massive railroad network and glorious ocean liners such as the RMS Empress of Ireland. Nowadays, in 2024, the Canadian Pacific now proudly spans the whole continent in North America. The previous year, Canadian Pacific successfully merged with the Kansas City Southern Railway, linking Canada, the United States, and Mexico under one railroad. To commemorate the merger, CPKC CEO Keith Creel announced plans to bring back Canadian Pacific's own famed steam locomotive, Hudson 2016, after 13 years of being in storage. The plan was to operate the locomotive from its home base in Calgary, Alberta, all the way down to Mexico City, Mexico, and return, with publicity stops all on the way to allow visitors to get up and close with the larger-than-life Empress. We enjoyed some of the action chasing the train from Shreveport, Louisiana, to Houston, Texas, while also capturing them once in Arkansas and attending the display event in Shreveport. Join us as we chase Canadian Pacific 2816 down through Dixie. May 22nd, 2024 was our first encounter with the Empress in the far southwest corner of Arkansas in the remote town of Ravanna. Rain had just rolled through, and the family was eager to see the train thunder on down. A few days later, on May 24th, the 2816 and its consist backs up towards the Shreveport Tower complex for its display event. For about 4 hours, the locomotive and its consist stood proudly on display with thousands coming out to pay their respects to the grand old Empress. The 2816 was constructed by the Montreal Locomotive Works in December 1930 for the CP, designated as an H1b 464 Hudson. The locomotive and its 9 other running mates began hauling the luxurious passenger trains out of Winnipeg. Later in its career, it was bumped down to commuter trains in favor of the semi-streamlined Royal Hudsons and the eventual dieselization of the passenger trains. 2816 was officially retired in 1960 and was later sold to New England seafood magnate F. Nelson Blount to be a part of his Steamtown, USA collection. In 1998, the 2816 was purchased and brought back to Canada for restoration and operation by Canadian Pacific. 2816 once again steamed under its own power in 2001 and began hauling excursions for Canadian Pacific across Canada and with the odd venture down to the United States. It was pulled from excursion service in 2012 and sat in storage ever since. With the announcement of the final Spike Tour in 2023, crews in Calgary got to work to get 2016 in perfect working order for the roughly 5,000-mile-long journey. Throughout the trip, 2016 has made several stops along the way for display, and roughly thousands have turned out to be up close and personal with this magnificent beast. The next day, on May 25th, the 2016 and its crew began their next leg of their long jaunt to Mexico City. They first captured the train on 75th Street in Shreveport. At Hawley, the 2016 starts building speed after an uneventful stop outside of Shreveport. The Empress maintains time for Mansfield. The train thunders down the high iron through Benson at track speed. Quite a bit of history still remains in the remote village of Fisher, Louisiana, founded in 1899. Vintage company buildings, a church, and the original Kansas City Southern Depot still stand along with the wayside caboose on display. The 2016 made an unscheduled stop at Converse due to the positive train control malfunctioning, and the crew had to get permission from the dispatcher to operate without the PTC until they can service it properly. After a little wait, the crowds began to show up, and the Empress emerges from the woods in all of her glory. Running behind schedule, 2816 makes up time at Anacoco. At DeRidder, the train pounds away across the former Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe on an old railroad diamond. A beautiful depot at DeQuincy, Louisiana, shelters onlookers from the brutal southern summer sun as the 2816 slowly snakes its way through town. The Empress soldiers on, charging across the Sabine River. Now we're in Texas. The 2816 pounds the diamond that crosses the Sabine River in northern in Mauriceville. Now on the former Southern Pacific, 2816 rushes past some USNS G-style signals in China. The 2816 passes by a rotting monument of the past, an abandoned grain elevator at Devers, Texas. At Ames, the train slows down to allow Amtrak Sunset Limited to overtake them. The 2816 rolls through Spindle after Amtrak takes the lead. As golden hour approaches, we take one last look at the grand old Empress, Canadian Pacific 2816, as she speeds into the night, leaving the city of Houston behind her. This was an amazing and fantastic journey, and we wish the best of luck to the 2816 and her crew for the rest of the trip, as it won't be an easy one. That's all the time we had for Chasing the Empress, and until next time, thank you all for watching ALW Productions, and have a great day, friends.